Hello, valued viewer, and welcome to the Odoo Finance Club. Today, we are going to look at a case study of a logistics company, and we are privileged to understand both logistics and accounting. And I'll have a brief overview of what we are going to look at. So, for starters, our company is called Cloud Kenya Limited, and we are cloud accounting experts. And herein, dealing with Odoo, the accounting software from Belgium. So we have expertise in consulting, streamlining your workflows, data security and migrations of data, and of course, ongoing support. And then here is Odoo. Odoo is a company based in Belgium with an office here in Nairobi, and we are partners with them, and they have an amazing software that simplifies your business. So these are some of the applications that can be applied in quite a wide range of businesses in any industry. But today we are going to look at the logistics transport and logistics industry. So the first bit here is finance application. So all the finance applications will definitely be needed. Under sales, you might need all, but we want to concentrate on those that are key. Of course, you'll need to do sales, whereby you'll be able to do your quotation, convert the same quotation to a sales order, and convert the same to an invoice. Of course, if you need a website, you can do that. I'll jump into the supply chain, which is a key area here. So the first thing is the purchasing and the maintenance. Of course, maintenance is for the vehicles. If you're also dealing with inventory that you own, you can also use the inventory application. Of course, under human resources here, we have an application called Fleet, which is important for our logistics company, which we will also tackle. And then here we have the services applications, we have the projects. So there are two ways you can track your trip. So in a logistics company, every trip matters. So you need to track how it is performing, and these can be many projects in the system. Of course, you can use analytic accounting, which I'm going to showcase. And lastly, here we have the approvals module, whereby you're able to approve whatever you need to approve, for example, expenditure. Now, I'll have my company here, ABC Logistics, just a general name. And then here is a workflow. So the first part is, of course, customer management, whereby you will need to manage your customers and, of course, your suppliers. So in Odoo, we call our customers and the suppliers partners. And then you have the transport management, of course, you will have the fleet, the destinations, transit time, all that will be defined under the transport and management. Then, of course, inventory management for managing your goods that you're selling, maybe picking from the warehouse, putting them in the truck and delivering to the customer. Of course, when you're coming back from the trip, sometimes you get a return trip, which can be maybe fully 100% profitable or maybe 90% thereabouts, because most of the time when you're planning for the trip to, the trip from sometimes it's already counted in the trip to the costs. So you'll have profitability there in case you get such a trip. Of course, you can have proof for delivery, and now we go to the finance module. Of course, as mentioned, accounting is needed. Of course, you'll need petty cash management. I believe the drivers will need some cash on the road. So petty cash management, and of course, fixed asset management to manage your trucks. And of course, maintenance module will be come in handy because you need to maintain your vehicles. You need to know when they are scheduled for service and all that. Of course, you have fuel management, spare part management, and all that. Further to that, you can integrate with GPS to track where your vehicle is, how much fuel it's consuming, and all that. You can have a mobile app to track all that. And Odoo is open, so you can do any integration with it, and that's the beauty about Odoo. So here are some of the key setups. Number one, you're going to define our products and services. For example, fuel. So we've defined a few already. The mileage, the road toll, the bank charges, agents fees, name them, all of them that are relating to the logistics company. Of course, we'll have created our tracks in the system so that you can track them under analytic accounting, and of course track them under the fleet management. And then of course we are going to create the trip. Now this is the interesting bit. So every trip matters. So it's important to have a unique number. So it depends on your company. You can define the number, or the number that you're going to tag for each trip, so that it's unique, so that you can pull a report specifically for that trip and see how it's performing. Lastly, we can also have tags. Maybe you have defined routes. Maybe Mombasa to Malaba to Uganda is a certain number of kilometers on estimate. So it's good also to define that. Of course, now we are going to test how to raise a quotation, map that to analytic report and projects, and of course map it to the vehicle. And of course, finally, we are going to book some of the expenses. So that's just a basic overview. Right. So we jump into the system. So that's how it looks like. These are some of the applications we've already installed in the system. So for starters, we've already booked some of these items in the system. So I'll go direct to project and create a project. So with the do, you just type that and then you go to project there. So here are some of the trips. So I want to create a totally new one. So I'll click new project. Then I give it a unique code, maybe trip slash, we're in August 08, maybe trip number 004, for example. If you want to track timesheets, you leave it ticked. Then I go to billable and say it's billable at the end of the day. Then I can create the project there. Done. So if I go back to my projects, the project is already sitting there. So you can also add tasks here and anything you need to add there. You can also map that the project is maybe on track, at risk, all that. So maybe I tick it's on track. Right. So let me go back to projects. I show you something. So projects. We go to the trip here and click report project updates. You see there's nothing yet that has come in here. So the items that will come here, number one, will have our revenues, sales, we'll have our expenditure, we can have budgets in the system, and of course, we'll see the profitability. We can also add milestones down here. Maybe a milestone like, for example, track loaded successfully. So before the trip begins, of course, you load it. So the transport manager will have a long list of the milestones and you'll just tick that that one is done. Then another one may be arrived in Malaba. You save and close, and you tick. So that will guide you to know, assuming you have 100 trips, it's important to do this so that you can know which trip, what is happening to a certain trip, where has it reached, and the likes like that. So now the next thing we are going to do, we are going to go to the sales module. Yeah. Of course, we'll have a discussion with our customer, maybe call them, they send an email requesting our services. So I'll come here and click new quotation. Then I choose a customer. So let me just choose a global customer created already. Global customer there. Maybe expiration date, you can just leave it open like that. Then the price list, you can have either Kenya shillings or dollars. So let me choose the dollar. Then the payment terms, you'll have agreed, of course. Maybe let me pick 45 days, for example. Then I'll come here and add the product. So the product here is what you are selling. So let me add my product there. Yeah, so maybe transport. Yeah, transport service there. And then here is where you define now here is where you define you tag your project. So of course here you'll be knowing your trips. So of course you can have a very unique way so that when it's a certain month, when you just type in, it will just come up. Or you can even have the project with the name of the customer. So it's up to you. So let me pick that trip there. And of course, I'm also able to tag, the vehicle that is carrying the load. So let me tag KAB there. Sorry, KAB right there. Of course, quantity is one. Then maybe I put there $5,000 like that. And then of course it will calculate your VAT. So that's a quotation creation. Then I just confirm. Of course, immediately you get a sales order number. So I can send this by email to my customer, and then they'll be able to view it from their end. And then any notes they put in will automatically come down here so that you can have a very clear audit trail. Then from there, maybe you can create an invoice. If you need to create an invoice, you just create an invoice from there. So you can say maybe it's a regular invoice, maybe they need to do a down payment, a percentage, or maybe it's a fixed amount. So let me just do a regular invoice, just create a draft. It's loading. They are done. So again, now I'll come here. Of course, the system is already mapped to eTeams. So you'll choose what methodology will they use to pay you. So let me just pick maybe cash for now, and then I confirm. So that's confirmed. Of course, I can send and print it out. I can register payment. Maybe they've paid you. I can register payment and receive it in the system. Of course, you'll see the exchange rate right there. So that it, because the reporting currency that I've set is Kenya shilling. So let's go to the project and see what has happened. So let me go back. Projects. So this is our project trip 0008 004. I go click project updates there. Then you can see clearly there customer invoices. This is the amount. Of course, it has converted the dollar to the Kenya shilling equivalent. So already you can see what is happening to your project. The other option you have, you can go to accounting. You have analytic accounting already set. So if I go to reporting here, assuming I want to check the profit and loss for that respective trip, I'll just go there. Under analytic, I'll be able to come here and choose the trip 08. Yeah. So you can see here trip 08. So you can have all your trips column wise and see how they are performing. So you can see 662,000 there. So no expenses have been booked yet. So there are many ways you can check this, either from the project side or from the P&L side. So the P&L will combine all the trips and of course the total, the total revenue for the company as a whole from way back. And of course you can change when you're checking. Maybe you're checking them a certain month only, you're able to also do that. So if you pick that month only, specifically August, whatever you'll see there will basically be for that specific trip, right? Okay, so the next thing we are going to do, we are going to book the bills and see how this works. So I'm going to jump into accounting. I go to vendors and I go to bills here. So I just book one bill so that it's for simplicity purposes. I'll click new. Then I choose my vendor there. Maybe let me just pick the garage there. Underline. So I add a few products here. Maybe we go pick something relevant. Maybe fuel. Fuel is a key component there. Of course, this one needs to go to the fuel expense. Fuel expense. There it is. Of course, I need to tag the vehicle here, KAB. Then here I can tag the specific project, trip 08. Of course, I tag the vehicle here, KAB. Yeah, maybe the fuel cost us maybe a whopping 50,000. Maybe I can just add one more line, maybe something like engine oil. Engine oil. There it is. Like that. Once I choose a vehicle, choose a trip 08. I choose a vehicle there. Good. So maybe oil cost us 20,000 shillings there. So that's it. Once you're done, you just again it is mapped. You can choose a methodology payment and I confirm. Of course, I need to put a date there. Just save date, confirm. And from there, you proceed with the normal payment of the register payment, which is done by the finance department, and do the reconciliation. So once that is done, let's go back to our reports and see what has happened. So I go here, profit and loss. And then here, my trip there. So you can see the costs I've already pulled in. And I can come here and unfold and see the breakdown of my costs. So you can see truck repairs and maintenance 20,000, fuel 50,000. And you can see your profit there. So you can have all your expenses listed there. And you can have a very beautiful report there per trip. Okay, so again, if I go back to my projects application, projects. So my trip there, project updates. There we are. As you can see again, the bills have come here combined, but you can still open this up. It will open up the whatever you've seen on the other report. And there you have it. You have your profit margin there and your percentage profit margin of 89%. So it's as simple as that. The system has been made so simple so that you can easily work seamlessly without having so many applications on the site. With one system, you're able to dig in and see how the performance is. So thank you very much. And if you're not using Odoo, I don't know what you're doing. So call us so that we can be able to guide you depending on your nature of business and we'll be able to assist you further. Thank you very much.